Hi, Sue Rose Minahan. January 3rd, 2021 has been going on. And what's the difference? It's like every day is making a little bit of a change. So if we look at the sky, there are some thoughts. And of course, how do they relate to us? And here we go. Here's today's chart. This is the chat for Talk Cosmos. Oh, I didn't, pardon me. I need to let you see it, don't I? Yes, and that's what it's all about, not just doing it for us. Well, that was a good example because really we are emphasizing, yes, the great mutation of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. Those are fixed signs. That that will, for people that have significant fixed energies in their chart, and especially in the early degrees, are going to be shifting in absolute tremendous ways. They're going to want to elevate, they're going to want to expand their horizons. And it isn't an easy affair when it comes to fixed. There are fixed means it's settled, it has a form to it. And even in air, air has like the eye of a storm, I've often thought. Well, if it's in Taurus, Taurus is much the survivor. And right now, the co-ruler, because there is Saturn for the old traditional astrology, but Uranus is the modern ruler, and it is in Taurus, meaning it's quite fixed. It it's grounded. It survives because of its very nature. So there will be, according to how your chart reads, not just simple adjustments. That word can be quite like an earthquake sometimes, just redistributing, pruning, chopping off, categorizing. And then again, it can be a simple fix, but how to get there emotionally makes a lot of difference. And really, for this particular, for today, Sunday, the 3rd, here in our time zone, the moon is in Virgo. It has shifted. And I just pulled up some squares and oppositions, and it really is not in immediate context, meaning we will feel emotional. We will have, and of course, to your chart, it may be quite different, but this is just the general chart. And it is an Aries 0 degree, so everything is in its natural sign. But with Virgo, we want to refine and we want to fix and we want to analyze. So that can be quite constructive. It's just energetically with the various aspects, because although it will be sitting as a real need, the problem is you want to stay away from criticizing yourself too much or feeling inadequate. It's only considerate if you have the right steps and goals, and if you know what to do, or at least know how to start. Aries is in its very last degrees. It's going to, on the 7th, go into Taurus. And you want to take this time. The energies will be dramatically different. Right now, you are separating and creating and becoming identity, and it's still in a very definite orb of tension with Pluto and Mercury getting closer than it was a few days ago, where we're really thinking seriously about what those goals are. So the moon can be helpful just energetically, because even if it's not exactly in aspect, the areas that it's working are grounded. Everything, all three of those are grounded. They're earth signs. So we have potentialities certainly to move ahead, because a square really wants action, it wants resolution. It can be a difficult pathway, as I say, if it's a fixed square, depending. I mean, it's a Leo, is a fire that's fixed. It because it takes a lot of work to get to that fixed point, and it's satisfied. It has something to do, and to have to change everything can be very involved. It's not just always a minor little adjustment. And then there's Scorpio, the water fixed sign that is, we're operating on an exchange that of growth, that for its growth with other people, exchanging resources, and committed, deeply emotional, involved. It matters. You have then Aquarius, of course, that in air can be quite opinionated. It can be very resolute that it has the best ways to elevate everybody, and the ideas are that way and the highway. And then you have, this is all the shadow signs that I'm saying, because they're all wonderful signs, and we are made up of all these signs in our charts, and it's a little part of us, an echo somewhere. But I mention it because somewhere, perhaps either in your chart or someone you love very dearly, and they're struggling, and of course you are too, because you're dealing with them. We're all in relationships. Venus, for instance, right there is the sign of relationships, along with Taurus, because it's Libra and Taurus. And my point being, back to the sign of Taurus as the last fixed sign, is that that is survival. It is where that flame comes and wants to, it needs, it must live. And so it's quite self reliant. And to have to change according to other people's ideas can be disconcerting. So, going back to the hopeful, positive, remember that it's networking and community. You know, Venus is also love, and that love can be shown through the group, through connecting with people that show caring. You know, people volunteer for all kinds of things. I was just hearing on the radio about a woman, a teacher, who opened up her garage as a library. She loved books. She was a teacher, and little children were coming and getting those books. And she was mentioning how valuable it is to feel like you hold and own and possess a book. I can relate. I'm a real bookaholic. In fact, moving over here, they lost two of my boxes, and one of them was all my astrology books, the best ones, my ephemeruses. But I did keep some hope. People told me they would be found. There are intuitive souls. And there's astrology to support that. And then I think fears sometimes walk in because of logic. It's like, oh, this can't be true. How does it prove? So there is that too with intuition. And some people are just more receptive, like, no, it's been working and I understand this and I live with it. At any rate, I decided to hold off on ordering more ephemeruses, which I dearly want and use. And they found my boxes. I'm so excited. Yes. So I guess I mentioned that because one was about books and about the librarian. So I can well understand how to share and have people, for instance, to hold a book and to be in contact. For instance, she was in contact, but not as closely as hugging and that, but people had to come to her garage. There is a way of networking with people. And by networking with others that you can reach out, you can come up with good inspirations. People get triggered by each other, you know, on a positive way. You can learn to figure out new solutions. So remember that this new set of cultural ignition, you could say, I suppose. I mean, it is a cultural reset button that Jupiter and Saturn do every 20 years. And it is in air sign. So I think it's going to be most exciting to see how we develop, because when Mars goes into that Earth sign, things will get concrete. Right now, it's still igniting. It wants action. So blessings to you, blessings, and we'll be in touch. All right, thank you. Lots of love. And remember, subscribe and comment. Let's connect. All right. Thank you.